who's come to see someone performing in the Pow Wow, and I want to welcome our fourth graders. This will be you next year, so watch closely. The first thing I want to do is I want to read just a little bit about Pow Wow etiquette. American Indian powwows are becoming more and more popular, and it's good to know the proper etiquette before attending. A powwow is a Native American gathering that was originated to bring many tribal members together in peace and harmony. And to this day, this tradition has continued. The tribal members congregate to show support for one another, as well as display traditional wares and dance. Also, Native American foods are available for you to sample. Before attending a powwow, there are several things you need to know. Powwows have rules of etiquette that should be followed. These rules have been handed down over generations from elders to youth and represent respect, brotherhood, and courtesy for the tradition and life. The arena is the area where the dancers step lively and show their traditional dancing skills. The arena is in the form of a circle. The reason the dancers always dance within a circle is because this circle represents the circle of life. Being invited to dance in the circle is the only time a spectator is allowed in the arena. You should expect to remain seated for most of the powwow, and you will be asked to stand during the grand entry, flag songs, and national anthem. Exercise respect during these special times because these are the most sacred times during a powwow. The drums are sacred, and it is believed that anyone who takes the place behind a drum has been selected by God to be there. No one drums without special permission, and no one sits in the drumming area without special permission. Great offense is taken if you choose to sit in this area. You should never turn down an invitation by anyone, especially elders, during a powwow. The powwow is a place of happiness and brotherhood. There is much to be learned from a powwow. You will indeed be enriched by knowledge and respect for a culture that is the oldest in this country. You will also reap the blessings that everyone receives from attending the powwow. At this time, we will have our grand entry, so I ask our audience to rise. Brothers and sisters of the Apache Nation, please enter the sacred circle. national anthem. At this time, you may all be seated with the exception of Mr. Fry's class, who will be performing the stomp dance. At this time, the Apache Nation come up for the storytelling.
In the old days, when we were a strong and happy people, all our power came to us from the sacred hoof of a nation, and so long as the hoof was unbroken, the people flourished. The flowering tree was the living center of the hoof, and the circle of the four quarters nourished it. The east gave peace and light, the south gave war, the west gave rain, and the north with its cold and mighty wind gave strength and endurance. This knowledge came to us from the outer world with our religion. Everything the power of the world does is done in the circle. The sky is round, and I have heard that the earth is round like a ball, and so are all the stars. The wind and the greatest power works. Birds make their nests in circles, for theirs is the same religion as ours. The sun comes forth and goes down again in a circle. The moon does the same, and both are round. Even the seasons form a great circle, and they're changing and always come back again to where they were. The life of a man is in a circle, from childhood to childhood. And so it is that everything where power moves, our teepees were round like nests of birds. And these were always set in circles. The nations who, a nest, many nests, where the Great Spirit meant for us to hatch our children.
The Cherokee tribe, please enter the grand circle.
Hummingbird got fired. Eagle, hummingbird, crow, raven, and hawk were hungry. There was food to be found, but they needed fire to cook with. Eagle sent Hummingbird to get fire from the badger people underground, but the badger people refused to share their fire and sent Hummingbird away. When Hummingbird returned, Eagle was very angry and sent him back. The badger people saw Hummingbird coming and said, "Cover the fire! Cover the fire!" They hid the fire and covered it over with the deer skin. But the deer skin had a hole in it where the arrow had gone through, and Hummingbird reached in with his long narrow beak. He took a hot ember and carried it away, but before he could put it safely into his armpit, it flamed, turning the brilliant red. That's why a hummingbird has a red throat. And that's how there came to be fire in the world again.
Would the Comanche people please come to this grand circle?
The bear is something that was put here with us. That's the reason why my people always say, when you meet a bear, if you start singing to him and talking to him, he'll just sit down and listen to you. I have seen it done, and I met a bear, maybe from here, far as this far, and we're walking up that trail toward me, and I come against him, and then I didn't know what to do, whether to run from him or what. And I thought I'd better start singing a song to him. Then he stood there for a while, then he stood up. Big bear. Stood up, and then I thought, my God, he's going to attack me. And then I just started talking to him and singing to him. Then he sat down. Then I sit down on the trail, and when I done that, I know he was listening to what I had to say to him. And then after a while, he got up again on 4 feet, and then he started going down the trail where he came up. And I stood there for about maybe 5 minutes. I didn't know whether to turn around and go back up the hill where I came down. Then I decided I better go follow him a little ways. He went around a big boulder. That's the way animals are. They're scared of you. If you talk to them and sing to them, they're your friends. Just like the trees here. The more you sing to them, the better they grow.
At this time, we need the folks doing the pleasure dance to come to the sacred circle. Pleasure dance. This is a social dance, as its name implies, and is typical of Choctaw emphasis on general festivities. Traditional ceremonies of a serious nature were less common. The text consists of a single repeated syllable pattern. In many American Indian songs, the text is of less importance than the music and its related action.
Yeah.
this time, we will have a presentation for you based on the Native American story, Big Turtle.
Long ago, the world was divided into two parts, an upper part and a lower part. The upper part, the sky world, was a beautiful place with mountains, trees, plants, and lots of land. The lower part was inhabited only by animals and was completely covered with water. One day, Talika, a young girl who lived in the sky world, went for a long walk.
The day is beautiful, and I've been walking for hours. The grass beneath this tree looks soft. I'll just sit down beneath this tree and take a short rest.
Talika slept peacefully, but then a rumbling sound woke her. The ground cracked. Talika and the tree tumbled from the boulder to the lower water world below.
What's happening? Help me! Someone, please help me! What's that? Sona needs help. But where is she? Look above you. She's falling from the sky world. Spread your wings and we'll catch her before she tumbles into the water.
The two swans spread their wings, and the girl landed on the swans.
Thank you, kind swans. Lucky for me, you were there to catch me before I fell into the water. What will I do now? How will I return to the sky world? I can't stay on your backs forever. We'll conquer Big Turtle. He knows everything.
So the two swans called for Big Turtle, and Talika told him what had happened.
Can you help me, Big Turtle?
I have heard an old story that says there is soil found deep beneath the water. We could build an island on my back. You could live there.
That would be wonderful.
Swans, call a meeting of all the animals in the water world. We'll find a way to get the soil.
All the animals in the water world came together, and Big Turtle explained what needed to be done.
I'll go. My sleek glass of pearl will allow me to travel far beneath the water.
No, I'll go. My big flat tail will make a perfect paddle to propel me deep into the water.
No, I'll go. Everyone knows that I'm the best swimmer.
Quit arguing and someone just go. Talika can't stay on our backs forever.
At that moment, Frog stepped forward.
I'll go with the soil. I've got very deep.
Are you joking? You're too small and too ugly to be of any help.
Quiet! Everyone is equal here. Anyone who wants to try will have the opportunity.
Otter was the first to die. After a long time, he came to the surface, gasping for air.
Not for me, it's my turn now.
Beaver dove into the water, and she, too, was gone for a very long time.
You're right, Otter. It's too deep, and no one can dive that far.
I can see that my swimming expertise is required.
Muskrat dove into the water, and everyone waited for a very long time for her to come back up.
Absolutely no one can dive that deep. Getting the soil is an impossible task.
Now it's my turn.
Everyone looked doubtful as Frog took a deep breath and dove into the water.
How long has Frog been down there?
Much too long.
No one can survive that long underwater.
Look! Bubbles!
Everyone watched as Frog's tiny, ugly face appeared out of the water. Frog opened his tiny, ugly, webbed hands, which were full of soil. He then spread the soil around on Big Turtle's back.
Hooray for Frog! Hooray for Frog!
Spread the soil around on my back.
All the animals began to spread the soil around on Turtle's back until a large island was formed. An island large enough for Talika to live on. Over the years, the island grew into the world as we know it today. Some people say that the earth still rests on Big Turtle's back. And every once in a while, when he changes positions, we have earthquakes.
I would like for everyone who played a part with makeup, set everything in the play to stand and play. People come back out. Let's get a round of applause for these guys. This is an awesome job. Good job. Okay, at this time, I need Myth of a Young Eagle. The myth of Young Eagle. Young Eagle of southern Coyote feels that he is ready to leave his boyhood behind and enter manhood. In order to accomplish this, according to Coyote beliefs, he must travel from his western home eastward to the country of the Sabit Paiutes. He asks permission from his mother to make this journey. I need Mrs. Owens' class to come up for the two-step dance. With the players of the Medicine Lodge game, please enjoy the grand circle. Gameplay helps to demonstrate some of the important aspects of Native American values and ways of life. Native American kids like to have fun, just like kids today. Native American games often involve suspense, competition, or a skill challenge. Children learn about aspects of Native American life through gameplay. In order to grow up to be skilled at hunting and gathering, Native American children had to learn to be extremely observant of their surroundings. This game was played to challenge and develop these skills. The Medicine Lodge game was played by many Native tribes in the plains, woodlands, and coastal areas of the continent. This game teaches stealth and keen listening skills, which were other important skills for survival in the wild.
Begin!
this time, I would like everyone to stand for the recession of the flag. Okay, at this time, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the fifth graders for all their hard work. You guys really did a good job. I think this is one of the best powwows we've ever had here, and it's because of your hard work. So let's give the fifth graders a round of applause.